What is up, everybody? A little eerie out here tonight. We had a big storm roll through, and I was out here working in the garage afterward. It was kind of still raining out, and in town here we have homeless people or whatever, and they come through and they look for pop cans. And tomorrow is trash day, so I don't think it's recycler day, but I have it down there anyways. And they were sifting through my trash can while I was in the garage. So then I was honked the lock buttons on both of these, and then they got out of here. But I thought that was pretty funny. But anyways, to keep your attention alive, I guess, as to why we are watching this video, if you've seen the title. So you guys seen my kayak on top of the roof of the car. It was sketchy at best, for sure. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of sketchy. And I didn't really like it. So I was gonna build a roof rack because they make universal racks. Nowadays, most vehicles come with this channel that goes through here on your roof area. But my problem with this car is it doesn't have the top part of the door. Most vehicles nowadays, they have the top part of the door, so the glass goes in there. This car here, the glass goes right against here. So even if I put a rack on here, it's raining again. Sorry. Even if I put a rack in here, it's real soft. So, focus. So if I close the door and the glass is up, guess what? It's gonna hit that rack edge and it's probably gonna bust my glass out. That's a real issue. So then I was gonna build one. What's going on, Robert? I was gonna build one, but there's a lot of angles on the top of that roof, and I know that with the tools I have here, I don't have 100% accuracy. So it made me really nervous, and on top of it, I researched gas mileage difference, and they said you lose. Thanks, Robert. You too. I don't know if Canada has Labor Day, but if they do, happy Labor Day. But you lose 2 to 4 miles per gallon with that rack on top. And once it's bolted on, it's on there, right? There's nothing I can do about it. And I was worried that I wouldn't have built it right. And awesome. And yeah, so then I'm like, all right. So how cheap are we going to go with this, right? I can build my own rack, but is it going to look right? What is it going to do? So then I'm like, okay, well, let's just do a thing. Because I had the Focus, right? And I towed with the Focus. I had a hitch on there, and I towed all the shingles from the house. And I towed a lot with that thing, and it was a beast. Don't get me wrong, that Focus towed really good. And in America, too much liability. They don't want you to tow nothing. What's going on, Brandon? Nice to hear that you're a big fan. I appreciate that. Over in Europe, it's a completely different story with those cars. A lot of them are diesel and they actually have a tow rating, but here in America, there's too much liability with it. Maybe there's too many reckless idiots, but regardless, we don't have that. But this is a 2002 Ford Escort ZX2 5-speed manual. And according to the Ford brochure, we'll close this door here. Bring some more light in here, otherwise this thing won't focus to save its life. So according to the Ford brochure, this thing is rated to tow 1,000 pounds. I mean, straight from the factory, the way this one sits, being that's the manual, it can tow 1,000 pounds, and I was wowed by that. So then immediately, I don't know why this thing looks like it's really almost dizzy-like. I'm sorry if that bothers you, but it must have the auto stabilizer on. It does that sometimes. But yeah, so then I ordered a hitch for this thing, and it was a little more than my Focus. My Focus was about $130. The hitch for this thing was, how much was it? $178. But it bolted on really nice. Kind of show you guys. So I have 2 points right here for if I were to get stuck in the ditch, they can tow me out. and it's bolts into both of those, and then it goes up on the frame, which I had to drill a 1/2-inch hole, and then it gets a nice big nut and bolt on there. So we got that, and then the hitch actually might have been less, because now I'm thinking about it, I bought the wiring too, and the wiring was like $30. But it's really nice because all I had to do was pop out these taillights, and it was the same way on the Focus. You pop out the taillights, and then there's a T connector, so it connects to the pigtail on the taillight and the pigtail from the wherever, from the other side, and then it bridges the gap and goes to my 4-way. So now I have this nice 4-way, which, trust me, there's like 3 more feet of slack on this thing, but we got that on there. And I was like, all right, so that went really well. That only took me like an hour. And I was fiddling around quite a bit with it, making sure it was right. So we got the hitch on the car, and then I was thinking, well, I got that big trailer that you guys have seen that trailer before because I've rebuilt it a 6 times. That was going to be too much. I mean, that's too much. That thing probably weighs 600 to 800 pounds. I have those big sides on it, which I thought, oh, I'll take them off. But I was like, you know what? I don't want to mess with that thing anymore. I want a new start. And I want something I can just tow behind here. Something that, for the next few months, ice fishing, bringing leaves, mulched up leaves to the compost site. I want something that I can use. And that's when I bought the Harbor Freight one. So this Harbor Freight trailer is the smallest one they have. They have them at Northern Tool also. It's 48 inches. The bed of it, okay, the part with the wood on it, it's 48 inches in length and 40 inches wide. It costed me $289. I couldn't use the coupon on it because it's a non-coupon item. But if you guys want to bear with me, let's price this down so you understand how good of a value this is. If I was going to make this, what would everything cost? Okay, so our coupler is $20. The chains are $20. So that's $40. We're going to move our way back. We have our axle and hubs. The cheapest one is probably $100. We'll go with that. So $140. We have our 2 leaf springs. Those are probably $15 a piece. So that's $30. That's $160, $70. Then we have our tires. Those are easily $30 a piece. So that's $230. We have our 2 fenders, which are, we'll just say $10 a piece, which I think they're probably more than that. But what are we at? $230? So $240, $250. We have LED lights. That's a $30 kit. $60, $70, $280. And then on top of it, you have a full frame that's been drilled and all the hardware to put it together. So, and it went together like a dream, honestly. Hey, Kirk. What's going on, Zambi? Awesome to hear from you guys. So when you break it down, the price point of this is killer as far as materials. Everyone says, oh, you got to re-grease the bearings. I still have to do that. There is a grease zert on the inside of the hubs, so I have to get in there and re-grease them. But you can see it's small, but my 10-foot kayak is sitting on there right now, pretty much all the way forward that it could go. In fact, maybe a little too far forward. But it's not like back heavy, which is surprising. It's like perfectly weighted for it. And I'm like so satisfied with this because look at it, okay? I have that thing against, not even against the workbench, okay? There's probably a foot of space there. It is pretty much, yep, right against the front of my car. But then if we go all the way back here, I got a couple feet back here. So what is the plan, right? So what this trailer allows me to do, if this thing would focus, the trailer allows me to do is it allows me to go deer hunting and use this car. Or when we get a hitch for Sam's SUV, the same idea. I can throw a deer in there. Now it's not going to fit all in there, but the body of it with a ratchet strap, it'll fit in there. People drive with those back racks all the time with deer on them. So I can get a deer in there. And yeah, tire chains, that's true. I can get a deer in there. I can get my hybrid canoe kayak on here. I can bring sticks and leaves to the dump. And that's mainly what I use the other trailer for. Now, it won't work with my canoe, but my goal is to pretty much only use these hybrid kayaks from now on. You know, and then I'm on a page of kayak trailer mod page locally here, and they have a lot of the people bought these same trailers and they extend the tongue, which is super simple and something I can do. So if I do want to put my canoe on here, I have to extend the tongue a little bit, but it's not a hard process. And I actually would consider making it kind of like a removable tongue to where I can flip back and forth, possibly. But we can get this all in the garage, which is good, because once the truck's gone and once the trailer's gone, my back area will be nice and open, which is what I want. I'm trying to simplify my life, and you guys wouldn't believe how much clutter when you're just like living in it, and then you get rid of it and you're like, oh, this is nice. So that's what I've been doing. Believe it or not, I used to have a lot more clutter in this garage, but I kind of got it down a little bit. So once I get things a little better organized, as far as like when wintertime comes, we have Sam's old bike up here. That has to come down and we have to get rid of that. But our two other bikes, our cruisers, they're going to go up here side by side. And then the kayak, I have already mounted one pulley up here, and I have to mount another one right here. And I went today and I had to buy and some paracord. So we got that, and I'm going to be pretty much just hoisting this thing up by its handles. It's 56 pounds, so I'm gonna have a pulley on each side. They're gonna connect in some way, which I haven't decided yet. I don't know if I'll run two separate lines and just put a knot in them. And then I'll just yank it, and I'm gonna have a tie point over here to attach to a stud. And I'll just pull that thing right up, and it'll nest right in there in the wintertime, out of the way. And then the trailer, being that the welder is gone now, I dropped that off at my dad's. The trailer, I'm gonna nestle up against the wall right here. Probably almost butted up against the workbench. And then all my ice fishing gear can sit in the trailer. So then when I want to go ice fishing, you just hook and book. Very convenient. So sure, it's not, if I had to think of an ideal trailer, it'd be like a 6x10 or a 5x8 even. But what's going on, Gail? And that would probably be like an ideal trailer. But what I'm trying to do here is, like, the series is all about budget. So $289, I'm probably in this for $1,000. So you can take just about any car, go online and find a hitch for it. And with that light of a setup, I wouldn't worry about that tranny cooking at all. At all. I mean, that is no weight behind you at all when it comes to that. Think about it. You can put a lot of vehicles, you can put 5 people in, and they average like a person as like 150 pounds or something like that. So that's 600 pounds plus driver. So 750 pounds. And if it's just you and you're pulling a little kayak behind you, that's not even close to that weight. So as far as like weight wise in the car, on the chassis, I wouldn't worry about it as long as you don't go too big. But yeah, that's my new setup. So I got the other trailer for sale, and I'm gonna give this one a run for its money, and we're gonna see just how well it works. I'm excited, really excited, and I'm actually surprised by the quality of this too, because it's all C channel, and it's like heavy C channel, as you can see. Like, that's not bad at all for this trailer. I mean, it feels really sturdy. I heard the 4x8s can feel a little bit less sturdy, but then I just took this pool noodle that I already had, and it somehow was just like the perfect length, pre-cut from my canoe. I'd put them on the rails, and got a little thing here. And and a lot of people were like, "Why don't you tow that thing upside down?" And the reason being is all of this. So we got these accessory rails and these little teeth for the mesh cover, and I'm not trying to bang those up. Although I think if I shift it forward a little bit, I could flip it over. But aerodynamic wise, once it's on the trailer behind the car, I don't think that it's going to make a difference which way it is. It will be nice if it's going to be like rainy weather or something, that it's upside down. But I'm not really going to go fishing in like super rainy weather where I'm driving in it. When I was on the lake last weekend, it started to rain. I was out there for like 2 hours. It started to rain, and I was like, nope, I'm going in. Because it's easy enough to just throw this thing back and off you go. So, yeah. That's where we sit right now. Everyone's asking if I'm going to make it for duck opener, and probably not. In fact, I'm like 99% sure I'm not going to be up there. Talked to my dad on the phone, and he was also like, yeah, there's probably nowhere you're going to be up there, and it's not even really on my radar. I might go around locally here to a lake to get away for a few hours and do something like that, but as far as making the trip up north, no way. Sam's due date is on the same day. And if she's not popped yet, that's, that's definitely no. And even if she were to go tomorrow, it's so new that I do not want to leave her alone to tackle such a job, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. I think she's going to be an awesome mother, but I'm not gonna do that to her. Because if I was in her shoes, I mean, there's just like, you just don't know what could go wrong, and it's so new and fresh. It's like, nope. So yeah, I don't plan on going duck hunting this year unless it's around here within half hour to an hour of home, because I want to be there if she needs me, obviously. But yeah, I thought I would share this for you guys. I'm gonna do many more fishing videos. Got a couple lakes here that, hey Alan, how's it going? Sorry that you're just tuning in. I was just about to kind of end this, so you might have to rewind it a little bit, but my new trailer, gonna be getting rid of my other one and just running this one. So yeah, pretty awesome little trailer though. It feels good, and I'm excited. So new trailer, and the car now has a hitch. Now I know that a subscriber by the name of Mark sent me some straps, which I can still use the straps. He also sent me a light bar though, because he thought I would put a light bar on top of my roof rack, because I was talking about building a roof rack for this thing. No worries though. I'll mount it to the front of the car. But yeah, this is my new setup for now. I might be upgrading my vehicle sooner rather than later, but we'll see. And the nice thing about this setup, though, like I was mentioning, is once we get the bikes flipped up for winter and get some stuff kind of reorganized, that trailer, I can maybe even tip it upright, but that trailer can sit over against the wall there, and I still have plenty of room to park my vehicle in here. So it'll be really nice, because that whole back area is always filled with normally my truck and the trailer. So when we get heavy snowfalls, I have to hop in the truck and move the truck and then move the trailer, and it packs down all the snow, so you have to chip the snow off the ground, and it's a big pain in the butt. But this way, and another thing was, if I did park the truck in the garage, if I needed to get anything from that work area, anything large, it was like I had to move the truck all the time. So with this whole setup, the trailer will be over on the side and the car will be back here. I can like access the snowblower, which is something I got from my dad this year I fixed his tiller, and in a trade, I guess you'd say, he let me have the snowblower because he has his other ones, and and it needs the carb cleaned, I believe. I should probably actually poke around with that thing pretty soon, but that's going to make my life way easier. Snow blowing this year, that's going to be nice. And I don't have much of a driveway, but it does suck to shovel, especially when it's real heavy. Storm Chaser 86 says, don't buy a new vehicle. The whole point of getting rid of the truck was save money. Just spent money on a new boat and trailer to make it work with the car. Stick with the plan, man. You got this. I would keep both trailers, and the old one could still use for bigger stuff. Well, yes and no. I don't, with me getting rid of stuff, right? I'm trying to simplify my life. We did a lot of stuff inside simplifying. So the other trailer, although it is nice, I don't know what Paul's trying to say here. He said, did you get a new teardrop tattoo under your eye for the new trailer? That's kind of a funny joke. You must know how much I love this trailer. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So the cost for me to maintain stuff, right? So the nice part about this trailer is I can just go get a tire anywhere. The other trailer isn't that simple. If I got a flat tire in that trailer, I got to find a tire shop, and they probably have to order me a tire. It's a pain. So I want to get rid of that trailer, and then if I need a larger trailer, I can either rent one from U-Haul because they're like $20 or $30 probably at the most to rent a U-Haul trailer, which is super cheap and super convenient because then you don't have to worry about any of that upkeep, and you don't have to store it. So when you kind of break it down, like, it doesn't cost you anything to store it, but you do have to constantly move it around. In my situation, I have to constantly be moving the trailer around, and if I'm using it just for the oddball time, it's not very good for the hubs and the tires to sit like that, because that's why so many trailer tires actually crack, is because they're sitting there just not moving. So the tire gets brittle from, because it's not flexing constantly. It's just like a piece of leather. You left it there. If you use a piece of leather, yeah, you maybe got to oil it, but using it is still, I wear leather gloves for work. So if I don't work for like this Labor Day weekend, I come back in, they are rock hard. You got to work them, you got to break them in. So that's what I'm trying to get at, is I probably have to put new tires on that thing every 3 or 4 years because they're going to go bad and get cracked, and I'm not about to drive 400 miles with cracked tires, not unless I can easily change one out, which I can't do. So that's why this makes sense. I get a flat tire, for one, I'll have a spare. I have to purchase a spare still, but I'm going to get a spare. But if I get a flat tire, I can get a replacement. Kirk says, only problem by renting U-Haul, you rent someone else's problem. Only problem by renting U-Haul, you rent someone else's problem. I'm not sure what you're saying there, Kirk. I think what you might be getting at is like, it's someone else's responsibility, I think is what you're trying to say. But, yeah, that's what I'm getting at. It's going to be great. So, yeah, and the money saved by the truck cost me $800 a month. If I had to be honest with you guys, between gas, insurance, and payment, that truck is $800 a month. In comparison, to drive the same car in the same amount of miles, it cost me $100 at most for gas. I mean, I drove all last week on just over 1/4 tank of gas. So I'm going to drive all this week on the other quarter, and then I'll fill it up at half, and it'll cost me 6 gallons worth of gas. So it cost me nothing to drive this thing, but at the very most $100 a month for gas, and then insurance is $20. So for side-by-side comparison, I will be saving $650 worth of money to drive this little red car every month. So that's worth a lot. Now, to do the truck, I went to the bank. We ended up refinancing my credit card, kind of. Like I have a credit card through another company, so I was able to get a really good interest rate through the bank, so they bought out the other credit card, and whatever, I got a really good interest rate. But when they ran my credit, I was in the top tier of credit, which I guess makes sense because I've never missed a payment on anything. And you guys know I've had a few vehicles now. We got the house, I got my student loans, I got like a few credit-worthy things going on. So I'm in their top tier. And so as far as like going simple, right? It's not like I told Sam, if we wanted to go camping and we wanted to buy a camper, we just walk to the dealership and buy a truck. Like financially, $800 a month, it doesn't kill us. Even without Sam working, it's not gonna kill us, right? But what I'm trying to do is, I got this car to commute back and forth to work, and then for 2 weeks straight, I didn't touch the truck. So I thought, well, geez, I'm not really using that truck. Why am I paying all this money to drive that truck? So that's kind of what I was saying is comparison, right? We'll get a hitch for Sam's SUV too. But this thing here, I can go duck hunting with it. I can go deer hunting with it. Obviously, I can't go off-roading with it. But for the oddball time, like maybe I have maybe I have a tree that falls down and I cut it up and I have to bring it to the compost site. I'll just rent a U-Haul and throw all this on the stuff in the trailer. Or, U-Haul has some rules. So maybe there's a few different rental places in town. But that $100 trailer rental, I mean, that's a lot. But say I have to get a truck and a trailer and it costs me $200. Yeah, it might be a lot thinking about it like that. But if I only did it once a year, I'm still saving like a whole wad of cash for something like this. So Storm Chaser 86 says, I like the setup, Zach, just advocating to keep the car since you got the trailer and boat set up rather than buying another. If you can spare the money, put it aside for the next vehicle. That's very true. I would eventually like to get a 4-door car, like a cheap one. But the way it stands right now, Sam's not going to be working when she has the baby. So she'll be staying at home full time, taking care. Well, it's not like she's staying at home. I mean, I think they say a full-time mom actually works like 60 to 80 hours a week dealing with the child stuff. So it's like more than a full-time job. But she'll have her mom mobile, which, works great. And then for the oddball time, if I'm going out of town, hunting or whatever, right now the plan is her parents bought a place like 20 minutes from here. And she would just go stay with them because she kind of gets lonely anyways. And they are so pumped for this little baby that, like, you wouldn't believe it. They're, like, amazing support people. But they're more than glad. We got a third car seat base now. So she has one. I have one that I need to put in the car. We already got the whole car seat and stuff in her SUV. But I got one that'll fit in here just fine. And then we have a third one that'll go in her parents' vehicle so that's all just quick. And it's the quick connect ones. So you just push them and they lock, pull them and they unlock. It's all the same thing. So for right now, if I'm out of town, it's not like she has to go to and from work anymore. So she can just go hang out with them and have a fun time. It'll be great. So Kirk says, say if you rent a trailer and you get 60 miles away and the brake locks up and you have to wait forever for a road service to come. Well, Kirk, let me put it this way. Like I said, that trailer there doesn't have an interchangeable bolt pattern. So if I got a flat tire and I'm 60 miles away, or even worse, I'm in Grand Marais, I get a flat tire, guess what I have to do? I have to find an open tire shop, go there, give them the tire. Meanwhile, I don't have any way to get that. I don't have like a place I can go to a hardware store and buy another tire or work a deal out with somebody like, yo, can I steal your tires so I can bring my trailer back to town? I don't have that ability at all. So I'd have to probably wait for a tire to get ordered into town and then mounted on the thing. I mean, that sounds like way more of a headache than just going to the hardware store and buying another tire. Or Menards, Walmart, just about any place carries one of these little 4-bolt tires. Storm Chaser says, of all the trailers I have owned or borrowed, I have never had the brakes lock up. And to be honest, I mean, still, you're just going to wait for as long as it takes. Like, at least that way it's not your headache, right? You're just sitting on the side of the road waiting for somebody else to come fix the problem versus you having to go take care of it yourself. Chad mentioned you sell your truck with the winners. I thought you would want a 4x4. Well, my work is a union shop, and in our last contract negotiations, we have it worked out where if we have a really bad winter storm that comes into town, it's up to our discretion at that point whether or not we want to go to work. So a handful of times last year when we got like dumped on like a foot and a half of snow, I just called in, said, hey, I'm not going to make it in because, yes, my 4x4 truck could probably make it there, but I'm not worried about me making it there. I'm worried about other people hitting me. I've watched a big truck pulling a Bobcat lock up its brakes and slide through an intersection on my way to work. I watched a school bus go across a bridge in the wintertime, and the wind was blowing so hard it got pushed into the center median. So I'm not really worried about me, right? I'll go slow, and I can make it to work 99% of the time. But those oddball times where it's like, oh man, I'm not going to make it. Well, I'm not going to make it. But Sam's vehicle is an all-wheel drive, and side-by-side comparison of her all-wheel drive to my pickup truck, her all-wheel drive eats all day long. My truck would get stuck where her SUV would go. So, yeah. Evan, the trailer does not have a spare. I need to purchase one. Brandon says, and people say men can't multitask. Zach proves you can very well. Talks to us, video, and reads our comments at the same time. Paul Fontana is just trolling me, guys. Not all people like to talk about things, and I guess people get off on trying to rain on other people's parades. But you know what I got to say to that, Paul? I'll tell you this. Sounds to me like you might be jealous. Just because I can go and have a fun time and have an idea in my head about, you know what would be a cool video series? Something that everybody can do. So you know what, Paul? If you're upset by what you're seeing, that's okay. I'm trying to show people how to make it possible, right? So if you feel stuck in your situation, just know you can go online, you can get yourself a hitch and install it yourself. They have directions and videos. And you can get yourself a trailer and put it together yourself. And go get yourself a canoe, a used one, or as we call it around here, a new to me one. You can go out and have a fun time. And you know what? You can buy 10 trailers too, because I tell you what, once you buy one trailer, they're all different. So you kind of want to get a couple of them and try them out and see. But, you know, I'm going to kill you with kindness, Paul. You're not going to get me down. Yeah. But that's where we stand, guys. So I thought, you know, I'm going to showcase this. The video coming out next on the other channel is going to be me putting together this trailer. It was a really simple process. I thought it was going to take like an hour and a half, but it probably took me 3 or 4 hours. But live and learn, right? I was trying to do it in one way and it really wasn't right. But the reviews on them are correct. The directions are good as far as the pictures go, but what they don't really say is how to do it, I guess. So Brandon asked, am I on Wi-Fi? No, ever since the last time it cut out, I turned off my Wi-Fi completely, but I think I've went over on my 4G, so I think I'm now on that 3G whatever they call it, LTE or whatever that garbage is. So I've used too much data. Probably have like 60 gigs worth of data, but we got unlimited, so not a big deal. But anyways, Paul says, I want a trailer for each day of the week. Me too, Paul. Me too. So keep your eyes open, guys. Hopefully I can get fishing this week, but I'm not going to lie, we have busy weeks forever. So yeah, we are trailer buddies for life, Paul. I mean, we'll have a trailer meet. What's going on, Nathan? I lost my train of thought now. But anyways, keep an eye out. We're going to go fishing, but I'm always busy. You guys know that. It seems like more and more often. Last week, I think for like 3 days straight, I only got like 4 or 5 hours worth of sleep. It gets brutal sometimes. And then I'll get 8 hours of sleep, and now I'm back to having like 6 hours of sleep. So, Trailer Palooza, heck yeah. So, I got to run down to my dad's this week. I got to try to get a fishing video in. And hopefully, I would love for Sam to have her baby one of these days. I should say our baby, but let's be honest, she has to do all the hard work on that. So, I'm sorry, Edward. I'm going to have to end this live stream so I can go in and have a snack because I'm starving. But please, Edward, feel free to re-watch because I do explain it a few times. And I think I kind of did it towards like the middle to the second half here of the video. So if that helps out, sorry. I'll talk to you guys later. Like I said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.